Life's easy with green tea. I don't know how much I should tell of this story, but there was somebody helping out with fixing up the premises here, and he just had a prostate surgery, had to have the whole thing removed. He said to me, if you've got health insurance, you're a wealthy man. And I'm thinking, if I've got green tea, I might not be rich, but at least I'm never going to need a prostate operation. So for 20 years, I've drunk a heap of green tea, and cross my fingers, God willing, so far, not a problem. Plenty of other problems, of course, but no, not going to have a prostate problem, God willing. So there you go. What was the story with that guy? There was no point in my saying anything because he had to talk up his self-esteem because it really did knock him having the prostate off. So I didn't say anything, but yeah, so we're only human, and each one to his own problems. I think I'm about ready to give it a go with a more relaxed. Now, hopefully the music's all right, but let me know if it's not so good. Well, along the way, I might be able to just tell you a story about a German physiotherapist that I met at a athletics meet in Timaru. Actually, it was Nelson. And her story was an interesting one. I felt very privileged because I could speak German and her English wasn't very good. So it was immediately, here, you got a friend out of nowhere. So this is inspired by an Indian chap who went to study physiotherapy in Germany. And I got to meet the physiotherapist. He was East German, by the way. So lots of good things happen out of East Germany. So just go to Doorstep healers. This is the sort of things it's good to do this. If you do this every day, or well, let's just say every 3 days a week. So if you haven't got a doorstep, a portable doorstep, well, at least you can lean into a wall and just up and down like that. But we want to make it easy for ourselves. Maybe you can keep one in the kitchen or the dining room. So we're just looking at about a minute to each one. So you do this 3 times a week for a minute. Stretches out the correct muscle that you're unlikely to get plantar fasciitis. Keep it going. Stretches out this muscle here. Medial gastroc. You can be aware of pressing into the 15 points of contact at the front of the foot, the balls of toes, middle of toes, and pads of toes. Just keep that going. So supposing you're in the kitchen, you've got a kitchen bench. Maybe you're watching a pot of potatoes or something, or you're frying up a steak. So you can just go into walk like a goat. So you got your feet off the ground, the heels off the ground, take the ankles wide and the knees wide, and you're just there, and you can just, and just push through the point of the ball of first and second toe, like that spot between, pushing the ball of fourth toe. Now the toes will automatically be working there as well. They really want to curl into the ground like claws, but you de-emphasize that. All right, and just the other side, it's like walking like a goat, ankles wide, knees wide. Press to the spot between ball of first and second and ball of fourth. Just narrow the front of the foot, just holding there. This will help develop the front of foot muscles, minimize flat foot. Okay, back to the first side. We were boiling a pot of spuds, right? Or frying a steak and onions. And okay, back to that second side. Right, balls of toes, squeeze together. Okay, so and then we could just try walking like a goat and just really feel like a really springy, knees wide, ankles wide. All right, so now just add in the toe lift. And walk across the billy goat gruff bridge. You all know that story. The troll hops out. Who's that walking on my bridge? Sit into the wall. Toes up. Sit into the wall. Toes up. And let's just lean forward and make it a yoga pose on top of it. And we hold that for 30 seconds. This will force us to breathe into certain areas of the body. So ask yourself, where do you breathe when you've got your arms out? You're really leaning forward there. Do you feel like the sides of your chest are like fish gills or shark gills breathing? You're going to just sit in the chair for some easy chair stretches. With the wrist pushing the knee down, the hand on the back of the chair pushing down. There we go. And you just automatically let the other leg go out to the side. This is a very good awareness moment. Where is it tight? Because that's the area you could massage. For the majority, you'll be on the side of the hip. We've got another 10 seconds this side, just pushing into the chair and the knee. What angle did you get on your leg? For the majority, that's in the side of the hip. Where is it for you? Changing. So it might be the ankle, it might be the forearm or wrist, just push the knee down. It could be the elbow even. All right, push it down. Down. So push on the back of the chair, push the knee down. And take note of where the tightness is. Now for me, it's tight on the side of the thigh, just above the knee. There's tightness heading into just below the knee. So where would I stretch? I would be stretching on this side, here. That's where I'd massage. Here, I'd be massaging here, here, and just the hip. This is the tight side. This is the one that really I could go all up and down the leg on this side. So, right, we just go into a hug a knee. The other leg just goes out the side, just hug in. You just keep your chest facing a little bit over to the side of this thigh, just okay, pulling in. And we'll hold that another 15 seconds. Let's really push that leg over, really make that work. Everything's supported in the chair. You can really contort yourself into a good stretch. Should have felt that about the hip pocket somewhere. Hugging in. That knee goes over, but your chest looks a little bit the other way, not too far. There. In yoga, you'd be trying to look behind, but don't you do that. If your hips are moving just a little bit one way, chest a little bit the other, hugging in. Leg up that side. Ooh, right, that's good. Nice to breathe into your belly. Okay, so now just lift the leg and thumb down. Just grab the foot. Look down your shin like it's a rifle barrel and just push that whole leg forward. We're getting a stretch on the inside of the shoulder blade. We'll take it for 10 seconds. All right, another 3 seconds there to switch sides. Thumb down. Thumb down. Just look down your shin like it's a rifle barrel. Push the knee forward. Energize the leg forward. It's like you're going to pull your arm and your shoulder blade off from your back. And the shoulder blade slides away from the spine. All right, so another 2 seconds. We'll just go back to the first. Take a note how it feels. Now take a note how it feels. Which one's tight? Because that's the one you're going to massage. Well, just even just grab a ball now and just do that. Hard tennis ball is good. I'm just pushing it in the tight side. Monkey squat, knees wide, weights a little more on the front of the foot. Hips engage the wall, ball engages the wall. Just hang that and hips forward now. And just hang that arm forward. Actually take the fingers over to the opposite shoulder. And that's my tight spot there. How about you? I'm just going to go there for 20 seconds. So you might not have a tight side there. Okay. Just allow yourself another 10 seconds there. Tall kneeling. Quad stretch. So let it be a proud chest and let your shoulders pull back. It's 5 seconds. Push the hips forward into the stretch. You can breathe into the lower circle of ribs and just notice where the breath goes. Let's swap over. So we're actually making that stretch a lot of places there. Hug the foot all the way in. Shoulders back, shoulder blades together. Breathe into the lower circle of ribs. It's going to be rolling Sir Galahad next. All right, so just bring a leg forward, vertical thigh, hand high. So belly button's back, and now forward we go. Just stop, just pause at the back, and lift up like you're a matador with the pins. You stick in the bull, and then forward. And so you've got a little pause there, belly button back, a little pause there with the front of the tummy and pubic bone down. I'll give another 10 seconds, belly button back, forward and down. Switching over, vertical thigh, hands high. It's like with the belly button back, you can just point your fingers down. It's like the pins you're going to, if you're matador, you're going to plunge those in the back of the neck of the bull. Keep it going. All fours, toes pointing backwards, rock back. Just let your knee up there. And now toes tucked under, rock back. And the feet are a little wide, and just let your hips go side to side. You stretch out all your toes if your heels are a little wider. So here's the bit where it's inspired by the Indian who trained alongside my German physiotherapy friend. And we met at the athletics in Nelson. On our back, simply lift a leg and lift 2 legs if you're good for that. And now we hold it for 30 seconds. And this physiotherapist, he had his sort of 5 exercises, went back to India. He could get through a lot of clients in a day. And was making more money than most physiotherapists in the West. And seeing that your tummy's working, automatically your breathing and bracing have to learn how to coordinate. And that was the magic of this physiotherapist. So now let the hips lift. And you could add in a long leg if you wish, why not? If you feel like it. And you're breathing into your belly and your lower half of your chest and relaxing your neck, because otherwise it's not comfortable, right? All right, if you've got a leg up, just switch over. So there we are at the start line of 100 meters, this really beautiful physiotherapist lady. And I'm thinking, oh, this is nice. Hope the wife doesn't find out. And she's just running me through these exercises. All right, so now if we're just long on the mat, just get your chest off the ground, like your back ribs are off the ground. Now you're working your neck muscles. You can hold this for half a minute. And just be tall, because if you're not tall, remember the tall and relaxed and aligned and the breathing into the middle of the body and the lower body. Because if you're not doing that, it's just not comfortable. Your ribs are off the mat. All right, just hold it for 5. Okay, so you saw how we went. We went the legs up, we went the hips up, then we went the chest up. Oh, now the head up. All right, so we can just have some one arm back and one forward. And not too high with the head. And the chin's coming up and the back of the neck's long. Sort of look down your nose to the middle of the wall in front. Again, because you're bracing, the breathing's going to have to sort it out. You're uncomfortable trying to breathe up and down around your collarbones. Side line. Well, we'll take long legs then. There we go. I just got a leg up in the air. And at this point, we might get a bit bored and lazy. So what's the most comfortable way? I'm going to suggest, if you think about head and chest, lifting away or lengthening away from the hips, lengthen away. Now the ribs lift a little. I'm suggesting the longer you are, the more stable and easier breathing. So the ribs may have lifted off the mat and you've got longer between your hips, chest, and head. And now they lean back, clam, and just lift the leg there. And we're doing a miniature version of that Copenhagen with one sideline with the foot on the chair, if you were there previously. So that inner thigh leg muscle is working. And we could just change that a little bit, move it a bit. If we were really keen, let's just hold 10 seconds with the hips up. And that's really changing it up as far as our German physiotherapy friends go. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm just going to flip up and over. Okay, so both legs long. Just take a leg up. And remember, the chest lengthens away from the hips. The ribs lift off the mat, and we can just hold there. And now that we're longer and everything's in alignment, the spine's straight. And everything's long, and you can breathe. Just listen to where the nice breathing is. You could try breathing into your collarbones. Probably wouldn't work. You know that muscles are working, so that we're not moving, but we're breathing and bracing. And we're finding out how we can do that comfortably. And then lean back and inner thigh lift. And so because we're not moving, we can apply all our attention to what's the most comfortable, relaxing way to breathe and hold our bodies. And I'm suggesting lengthening and breathing into the middle of the body and the lower body. And at the peak of the breath, relaxing the neck. So just hold that. All right, so Roman feast hip lift. Again, we're just finding a bracing position. We'll push for the back of the elbow and push the shoulder blade down to the elbow. Now we're working the lower half of the shoulder, lower 3/4 of the shoulder blade. The muscles that attach between the rib cage and the lower shoulder blade. These are lazy muscles. So you can just be aware of that shoulder blade. It's like the wing of a ladybird is tucked out under the carapace of the ladybird. And it's just sliding out from the chest, ready to fly. Let me just switch to the other side there. So here we are, we've got a breathing and bracing for the lazy muscles of the lower shoulder blade. Hips up. So press the back of the elbow, push the shoulder blade down to the back of the elbow. We're just holding there. Shoulder blade pressing down. Five more seconds and we'll just lie on our fronts. Okay. On our fronts. Excuse me. All right. Lift the head. It doesn't have to be far. Lift the leg. There we go. We're just holding there. And you can fit it a bit. You can look left and right with your eyeballs if you wish, but just think about lengthening. Oh, arms up as well. Heads up, one leg's up. Just think about lengthening and breathing. So this physiotherapy chap, he'd sort of book him in, say, go away and do your exercise. I'll check you in a week that you're doing them. And then he'd say, I'll check you in a month. He'd have 3 or 4 visits and he'd cure a lot of postural problems and solve a lot of problems for his physiotherapy clients. It's a good story, isn't it? And meanwhile, I head home to the loving wife and I remain a good husband, of course, but it's always nice to meet and talk to, nice physiotherapist ladies. So I can switch to the other leg now. I'm going to just reach for the stretch band and do the windscreen wiper stretch. So at this moment, I would hope that we're in a good headspace for stretching and massaging. And by all means, carry on at home with that. But I'm just sort of taking an arm behind and stretching there, stretching the back hip or pocket somewhere. I'm quite mindful of stretching behind the hip joint. And leg wide. Maybe you bend the knee a little. When you're holding a stretch and you think, do I need to massage this out a bit maybe? Am I doing that nice elongate and breathe thing? Other leg. So if you were mindful of, cast your mind back and think, well, what body part was feeling a bit tight? And as we're just closing now, you might carry on and in between making yourself a cup of tea or whatever, you might have a little stretch and massage of that body part. Now, I'm going to tidy these videos up. I'll publish them. And you've got these half-hour workouts, and I'll make a list of the exercises. And you've got these half-hour exercises. Now, if you can just pick out one exercise you think is going to be good for you, and do it most days, maybe add in a second and third choice if you've got time. So 5 minutes a day. And oh yes, I'm just lengthening out, let my ribs lift a bit. That's nice. There we go. Just coming up to seated. Mermaid sit. Find myself tall and relaxed, hopefully. Having had the feel of tall and relaxed, my body's going to want a bit more of that. And a lot of things are happening for me as all sorts of structure of internet delivery I'm just tweaking at the moment. But if you keep an eye on things, for example, the circular email that came out with your name on today and this week was from a French company that helps deliver emails. It's called Send in Blue. And I liked it. It was a lot easier than my old email delivery. And I'll be looking at different ways of delivering online as well. So, but you may not notice a lot of difference, and that's all good. A lot of it should be a little easier for both of us, actually. So, but you know, we're on a journey here. I'm on a journey, and if you're along there too, and you've got a little moment to spend with me, it's just lovely to have you here. And so I'm just gonna call off now. I'll be sending more, you know, just sending a follow-up email.